Hey guys, the Michigan International Speedway Cup Series race, the Consumers Energy 400 that aired on August 11th, Kevin Harvick gets his second win of the 2019 NASCAR Cup Series season, and once again Denny Hamlin finishes second to Kevin Harvick, just like he did at Kevin Harvick's other win this year at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So Harvick, Hamlin was probably him, Logano, and Truex were like the cars to beat today, and you could see none of those won the race. But Harvick still had a good car, so did Keselowski. Those and Blaney, those were kind of like the good cars, those three. So Harvick wins. He started second on the front row. Denny Hamlin started 14th, but he gets a second, another top five finish, second place finish, runner-up finish. Kyle Larson gets third. He was running ninth. He had a speeding penalty, too fast entering pit road in the first stage, but he battled back up to get to ninth. But then everybody was pitting. Well, lots of people were pitting because they couldn't make it on fuel, and then other people just ran out of fuel and dropped, and Kyle Larson was able to pass that many cars up to get a third place finish, a top five finish. Really good. He is now 71 points above the playoff cut line in 13th position. Martin Truex Jr. gets fourth. Martin Truex Jr. won the first stage. He had to start in the back due to failing pre-race inspection twice, and the race engineer was ejected, and Martin Truex Jr. battles back up to get a top five. He was one of the cars to beat. He was really, really good today, leading lots of laps. Hamlin and Logano were pretty much, and Truex gets fourth. This was his 500th start in the NASCAR Cup Series. He had a special tuxedo and bow tie fire suit for that, and he had a special paint scheme for that with Auto Owners as the sponsor. Daniel Suarez, another driver who was running about 10th when everybody started to run out of gas, so he was able to get up to 5th, now only 6 points out, 17th in the standings, 6 points out of 16th, which now Clint Boyer is on the bubble, 6 points above, and they are teammates. Kyle Busch won the second stage. He kind of swiped it from Martin Truex Jr. in the second stage to win it. Truex stayed out there, or got fuel only really, to win the stage. They thought they could do that, but then Kyle Busch swiped it. But so he won the stage. He really struggled all day, but he gets a solid top 10 finish in 6th place. Not really that great according to Kyle Busch standards. Ryan Preece, another one with everybody running out of gas, just was able to get up to 7th place. He was good on fuel. He started 29th. That's really good for that rookie driver. William Byron gets 8th. He had a decent enough day, and he gets a solid top 10 finish in 8th place. Chase Elliott really, really struggled today. He got some stage points, though, but he really struggled, and at least he gets a 9th place finish in that number 9 Chevrolet, so a solid top 10 finish for Chase Elliott after last week's winner at Watkins Glen. Alex Bowman, a pretty strong day. He was in the top 5 a little bit, started pretty strong in 4th, but ultimately he gets a top 10. He really wouldn't have gotten a top 10 without those people running out of fuel, but still a solid day. Ty Dillon, once again, everybody getting out of fuel. He was able to get to 11th. Great for that small team, Germain Racing, and that's really, really good for his confidence and their team and him moving forward. Ryan Newman kind of played a weird pit strategy. He pitted when nobody else did, so he made sure he would be good on fuel because lots of other people weren't, and that's why they were all running out of fuel at the end. So Newman, he did that, and he was able to get to a 12th place finish. Now he is 15th in the playoff standings, 16 points above that playoff cut line. So not safe, but still he has a little bit of a cushion after leaving Watkins Glen last week. He was out 17th in points, 0 points out, tied with Jimmy Johnson, but Johnson would have gotten the tiebreaker if the playoffs started that day. Austin Dillon gets 13th. Austin Dillon had to start in the back, same with his teammate Daniel Hemrick, because they had some illegal parts on their cars. They wasn't right, but Austin Dillon, so he kind of had struggled, but he got back up, and then an incident with Almirola, his teammate Hemrick, and him. He had some damage and spun into the grass. He had that was kind of unfortunate, but he was able to get back up to 13th, So that's good for Austin Dillon. Chris Buescher in the top 10 for a while today, really impressing me this year. Another top 15 finish for Chris Buescher. Both JTG Doherty cars running good today. His teammates Ryan Preece, who finished 7th. Paul Menard gets 15th. That's a pretty solid top 15 day for Paul Menard. He was up in the top 5 for a while because of pit strategy. For a while there was 1, 2, 3 Penske, and you could say 1, 2, 3, 4 because Paul Menard was 4th. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Penske, because Wood Brothers, which Paul Menard races for, is a Penske Racing affiliate. David Reagan 16th. Pretty decent day actually for Front Row Motorsports. Joey Logano 17th. He had to pit at like 4 to go. He couldn't make it on fuel. He was probably out then. And so yeah, he gets 17th. Unfortunate for him. He had a really, really strong car. Eric Jones struggled all day, and he just had a bad day. He got up to the top 10 for a little while, and he got 18th. He was definitely better than 18th, but he still struggled all day. But he's still 70 points above the cut line, 14th in points. So he's pretty safe. It's got a little bit of a cushion, just above one race of points. Brad Keselowski, really, really strong, but he was 10 laps short of fuel to make it to the finish. He started on the pole for this race. Him and Eric Jones are the 2 Michigan-born drivers. This is Michigan International Speedway, and those 2, once again, did not win. No Michigan-born driver has won at this track, and yeah, so that's continuing today at this race. And Keselowski was 10 laps short, so he pitted at like 12 to go in the race and ultimately finished 19th. Matt DiBenedetto, a solid top 20 finish, not really anything special. He says this is his worst track. He's fighting for his life, he's fighting for his career, and yeah, not too bad. He was slow in practice and slow in qualifying, but that team's still growing, working out their kinks, and they're good at these bigger tracks. They're more good at the short tracks or the road courses, and I'm sure he'll do really, really good at Bristol, because his finishes are like bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, so on and so forth. And so yeah, DiBenedetto 20th. Corey LaJoie 21st, actually really good for that small team, and Corey LaJoie. Michael McDowell 22nd, not too bad for Front Row. Kurt Busch 23rd, ran out of gas at the end. That's really unfortunate. He was running in the top 10 and got up to the top 5 for a little while as well. He was running 3rd actually. He was fastest for a while. Ryan Blaney, really unfortunate for him. He was doing really well in the top 5 for like lots of the ending parts of the race, then dropped to the top 10, saving fuel. Thought, saving fuel. He was like a half a tank short, or a full tank short of fuel, and yeah, he finishes 24th, so not the finish they wanted at all. Matt Tifft 25th, not too bad considering that team didn't exist last year. For another Front Row Motorsports team. Daniel Hemrick gets 26th. He started at the back just like his teammate Austin Dillon, and yeah, he got some damage during this race because Almirola kind of came up and pinned him up against the wall. Almirola had a bunch of damage, Hemrick had a bunch of damage, and that also caused Hemrick's teammate Austin Dillon to have a little bit of damage in him to slide through the grass. Bubba Wallace 27th, kind of a quiet bad day. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had a flat tire and spun pretty late in the race, so he gets 28th. Ross Chastain 29th, Landon Castle 30th, Quinn Houff 31st, Austin Theriault 32nd, Eric Almirola 33rd. Not the day he wanted. I already said what happened to him. He had tons of damage with Hemrick and Dillon, so not the day he wanted, but still safe in the playoffs, 90-some points above the cut line, in 11th in points. He was 10th coming in, now Blaney's 10th, but still. Jimmy Johnson, he scraped the wall early in the race and just got lapped tons of times, had to come down pit road, then came down pit road again with more problems, and he was done for the day. 34th place finish for Jimmy Johnson. Not good for his playoff situation at all. He is now 12 points out, 18th in points. So yeah, coming into this race, he was in 16th in points, but only 0 points above Ryan Newman. Now Ryan Newman is 16 points to the good. Now Boyer is 6 points to the good, and then Suarez 6 points out, and Johnson 12 points out. Garrett Smithley 35th, Cody Ware 36th, Clint Bowyer 37th, and Spencer Boyd, who is making his Cup debut today in Rick Ware Racing's number 53, gets last. He hit the wall pretty hard during the race, caused a caution. Clint Bowyer, though, he started 5th. Since Jimmy Johnson was having so much trouble, Clint Bowyer was taking advantage of that, getting some stage points. He was really safe, and that's also Newman was pretty safe. But Bowyer, he smacked the wall pretty hard. Him and Paul Menard made some collision. You could say Paul Menard kind of wrecked him. You could say Bowyer came down on Paul Menard a little. But regardless, he hit the wall hard. That ruined his day. He was getting a good run since feeding off of Johnson's failures, battling for that playoff spot. But Bowyer just ruined it there. Another bad finish for Clint Bowyer. Just downfalls of Clint Bowyer. And he doesn't know where he's racing next year. Still, he does not have a contract for Stewart-Haas Racing next year. That is not good. He's only 6 points above. He was really safe during this race because Johnson was so bad, but then he smacked the wall, and that just all kind of ended. And Newman kind of took advantage of that, but he's still not really safe either. So Kevin Harvick wins second race of the season, and there's Denny Hamlin, and you can see his rank currently is 4th. He's starting to become a championship favorite. This is his 4th race in the top 5. So yeah, I'm really impressed with Denny Hamlin. And Harvick kind of coming back, the closer. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Harvick, Hamlin finishes second to Harvick again after he did that at New Hampshire earlier this year. Thank you so much for watching, guys.